Hey YouTube, it's True Emergence from JiMaoGaming, and this is what I've been playing and what I'm thinking about it right now. The show where I talk about what I've been playing and what I'm thinking about right now. So I've been playing Dirt. No, no, I like Dirt. I like Dirt 2. I like Dirt 3. I've been playing Grid 2. Grid 2 is a fun game. It's an urban racing simulator game, and it goes to great lengths to give good authenticity, and I'm really enjoying it. But I have some problems. Dirt 3 is my all-time favorite racing game ever. I think it's wonderful. I think the adrenaline that you get out of Dirt 3 and Dirt 2 likewise, but Dirt 3 especially, is fantastic. And the tiny degrees of control you get, not just because of their wonderful physics system, but also because of the genre of game and the types of courses that you're playing on, allows that game to have a lot more fun and craziness going on in it in a lot of ways than other racing games that take place exclusively on asphalt. The way that you deal with different surfaces regularly, and the way that you really have to be careful of every little pothole based off of a turn coming up. And if you can just hit that pothole in the right way, then you can get a little extra rock to put your front left wheel forward to get extra traction going around the turn until your back end flies over, and then you need to just have enough speed that you're barely in control of your car but still making it awesome and making it out of the turn with plenty of speed. There's just this feeling in that game of pushing your car just to its brink for an extra second on your time off. In asphalt-based games, and I don't know this for all games, but every one I've played, and even the asphalty levels in Dirt, there's a lot less of that minute control going on. There's a lot less of that feeling of pushing your car to the limit, rocking around a turn. Barely, there's this feeling of almost not being in control half the time, but you are. That's the thing. You're like giving control up to the car and just barely maintaining it until you get out of that next turn. That's a good feeling. It's an exciting feeling. It gives me a lot of adrenaline. Grid 2 has all of the dressings. As a matter of fact, in some ways better. You get this interesting field of view effect, the dynamic field of view, where your hands are getting blurry on the steering wheel and you can barely see the bottom of the helmet. But it doesn't really restrict your view very much because the cockpit view is already restricting that view. And your guy's like looking at the road as he's turning into it. You're keeping an eye on the racing line. You're keeping an eye on the road. That's a good feeling. But it's asphalt. And yeah, the turns, navigating the turns, it feels almost more broken down because you're not dealing with multiple surfaces over even the course of one map or one race like on Dirt 3 or any of the Dirt games. With Dirt 3, you're dealing with multiple surfaces. You're coming in and out of asphalt, in and out of mud, drier dirt, wetter dirt, puddles, gravel, uphill gravel around S-curves. Like, that stuff is crazy. This game, it's like you're dealing with more asphalt, and there's nothing wrong with that. I actually enjoy it because you end up, you need to know the right line, but I'm not kicking my back end out. It's a lot of slowing up on the turn, taking off as fast as you can, timing it right out of the turn as best as you can. And it feels like there's less risk reward. Like on each turn, it feels like there's just something less exciting about it. Also, it's not as visceral. I take that or leave it. I like it. I like the more sedated feel of the races because the most you're doing is hitting another car. You like go black and white when you hit another car. It's a cool saturation drop. Is a nice touch, but I don't know. I'm just not so into the way that it plays. I'm going to play it through, though. There's a lot of cool stuff with the customizing cars. Couldn't do that in Dirt 3. It just was not the focus at all, which I'm okay with. You know, customizing the cars, hitting the... You can take each little thing in minute tune-ups, but I don't know how much big of an effect that is, rather than just saving up your money and hitting the button that makes your car a sports version of itself. That's fine. That looks cool. There's a different car selection. You get a very different car selection. Rally Racer is a world apart, and made, sedans grow on me a lot. Also, driving from the right side was weird. So you got the customization, you got tuning up, you buy new cars, but then when you buy a new car, the cars around you all change, to keep the difficulty even. But then I'm finding myself either just taking away the race or barely placing third, and sometimes not, which is okay. The races aren't too long, so you don't really need the flashback thing. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. But even if I play you have to play a perfect line to get that first place, and that's a medium. Maybe once I tune my car up, it'll give me an edge over the other racers. Maybe once I buy new cars and my skill improves, I'll see the subtle differences. But there's not as many big risks to take around turns. There's not as much slide. There's not as much bouncing off. There's not as much room to make a line, because a lot of the roads are real tight. Like, room for you and another dude, and right up against each other. So there's really no room, whereas in Dirt you get all these wide roads, gives a lot of room for maneuvering. Not a lot of straightaways, which I'm fine with, aside from the crazy speed car levels. So yeah, that I'm learning. I'm learning about the new type of game, and maybe this is how all racing games are, apart from each other. It's just this one definitely has that feel of it being in a cockpit that gets me playing it still. Otherwise, I wouldn't be interested at all. Like, there's a reason I don't like Project Gotham Racing, and it's because I'm not interested in driving Mini Cooper races, and weird, all that stuff. I'm not. That's not the kind of that kind of really clean. We recorded every engine of a billion cars idea, where you're really a simulator of all that crap, but not a lot of no damage. That's not the kind of game I want. I want something feels authentic, the feeling of authenticity. So that's of the experience, existential authenticity. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about playing Dirt. So thanks for watching. This is True Emergence heading out, but I'll definitely see you guys around. Take it easy.